Hello, welcome back to the A Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ameer Hamid. Joining me today will be Brant.
Hello.
And Mauro Cesario.
Hey, how are ya?
What's up,
Been
boys?
a while since I've heard that, eh?
I know. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 2 weeks, and then
nothing's happened. Nothing has happened at all.
The pod before the last pod we did was just you and me, and then the one before that was just you and Mauro. So it's like I literally haven't seen Mauro.
We haven't had a proper 3-man pod in a while.
Yeah. I know. Nothing's changed in the meantime.
No.
Absolutely.
Everything was the same.
Mike Babcock still the Leafs coach. Bill Peters is still Calgary's coach.
Bill Peters isn't a racist.
Yep.
Jesus.
So
that's all false.
I think everything's has been beaten dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been beaten to a pulp.
We missed our opportunity to rip on these guys.
Yeah.
So no sense in doing it now.
And I think that if you've listened to this podcast, I'm sure you would know what side of the ledger that we would fall under, because I think we're pretty liberal guys, in terms of where we land. And look, Babcock is psycho, and Bill Peters is racist.
Done. You just wrapped up the last 3 weeks in the NHL. Perfect.
Basically,
that's
honestly
kind of what the story's been for.
Sheldon Keefe is the Leafs coach.
Yeah.
What else has happened in the meantime?
Marner has gotten injured and came back.
Leafs fans have lost their minds.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's news. However, they're ridiculous.
The craziest part to me,
Tyson Barrie scored. That was another.
Tyson Barrie's come alive since the Keefe hiring, so that's also a pro.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
The crazy part to me of the conversation of Leafs fans was they were suggesting stuff that would have me to believe, oh, you just want Mike Babcock to be your coach. And I didn't know people my age were turning into old school hockey men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of crazy.
Yep.
While I agree that I would love if my players were more physical, just because
I would love to have 12 Brad Marchands. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
It's not a thing.
It's not feasible. No. It's not.
There's only one
reasonable.
There's one Brad Marchand. There's one Tom Wilson, and that's it. There's nobody.
I've said if I could trade for Matthew Tkachuk to be on the Leafs, I would, because he's such a pest and he's a very good hockey player.
Sure.
These players just don't grow on trees.
Yeah. Few and far between. It's a rare style of hockey that's played. You only see maybe 15 of them that are actually, pure goal scorers. There aren't many that you can name. There's Tkachuk, Marchand. I mean, you can say Gallagher in a sense, Wilson, Anderson. It's that kind of nitty gritty, hate to play him, love to have him on your team kind of player.
Anderson, who hasn't been very good this year either.
No, he's been awful this year.
Yeah.
He was really good last year. Absolutely dog shit this year.
Yeah. Same with Wayne Simmons.
Yeah.
You're paying him.
Wayne Simmons hasn't been good in 3 years.
No, that's the flip side too. Is you have to pay these guys. Every one of the guys we named is making a decent chunk of change. And it's you know what? That's not something that fits into a lineup. Sorry.
And I think that with a fraction of the Leafs fan base that's just make a move, I think that they don't realize that there's guys that have to go out. It's a money in, money out situation, and you legitimately have to be cognizant of, well, if I'm trading for a Wayne Simmons, that's $5 million. If I'm trading for Josh Anderson, that's 2.5 or something within that range. Yeah. If I'm trading for Blake Coleman, that me and Brant were talking about at 6 a.m, we were like, hey, you know who we'd like on the Leafs? Blake Coleman, because that's a $1.8 million cap hit.
Yeah, 1.75. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
And I'm like, well, he hits. You know what the funniest part was? I then looked at his height, and he's only 5'11". I'm like, oh, this is not going to work for hockey. This is not going to work.
He fits in perfectly with his team, but people hate it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, oh, doesn't fit now. Yeah. You won't satisfy anyone.
Maybe he'll block shots.
I think the more overwhelming point that we want to make is like, why is it after every game that we basically want to have a referendum over this
on the whole team? I don't get it, man. Like I said it on Twitter last night. If you look at the Keefe era so far, they beat the best defensive team.
How many games has it been?
7. They're 4 and 3.
And one of them doesn't count because Hutchison's a joke. They go out and they beat the best defensive team statistically in the NHL. They go out
Arizona,
and they beat Arizona. Okay. They go out and beat Colorado, who's probably a Stanley Cup contender
at home
at the time. At home. And they did it. They did a good job of it. They scored 4 or 5 goals. Look good. Mm-hmm. You split it with Buffalo. Buffalo gives you trouble every time you play them. They're a division rival.
Also, Buffalo's good because Eichel's been incredible this year.
They're a good team, man. They have a lot of pieces. Yeah, they struggled, but they also started the season 9-0 or 8-0.
And with the amount of talent that they have on their team, they should be good.
Yeah. So yeah, you split that series. The only loss you take is because Hutchison let in 4 goals on your glove side that just didn't want to do anything apparently. Mm-hmm. So you lose one of those games, then you go and you face Philly and Colorado back to back, 2 of the hottest teams in the NHL right now. Philly just won their 5th in a row against the Leafs.
Yeah.
They're not a bad team. They're good. They have one of the best young goalies in the NHL. They're good. They're going to beat you from time to time. It happens. Yeah. And then you get Colorado. It's the highest flying offense around right now. And you hold them to 2 goals before the empty netter.
Like, let's talk about Hutchison in a minute. But like, I think the point needs to be made that like the Leafs will go on a run at some point.
Yeah, their schedule sucks from here on out. Like they've got the Blues are good, and then it's just weak. Like I love the Canucks, but like that's a winnable game. The Oilers aren't.
Canucks, Flames, Oilers.
The Oilers don't scare me. The Flames are horrible.
The only problem is that a road trip?
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
It's a tough road trip, but like they're games you can win, and
they are winnable games. It's just a matter of making sure the team's not lazy.
Look at this. We'll go until the new year.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Blues, tough game.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Canucks, Flames, Oilers, Sabres, Rangers, Red Wings, Hurricanes. That's a tough game.
Hurricanes is tough.
Hurricanes,
Devils, Rangers, Wild. That's 2 tough games you have the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Now, will you drop more than 2 games?
Probably.
Possibly, yeah.
It happens.
I would bet on them losing more than 2 games.
I'm happy with losing 3 or 4.
7-3.
I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
It's the matter of seeing growth. In the 7 games I've watched the Leafs play since Keefe has taken over, it's a different team. Yeah, they're playing such a different style of hockey. It's not the stupid stretch pass through the middle of the ice time and time again. There's proper breakout. There's proper attacking zone time. Like Nylander's carrying the puck on 5-on-5 hockey. And it looks like they're on a power play. Like he's finding zone areas in the zone, or at least breaking into the zone, and he's creating chances. Like that's what you want from your star players.
They have more high danger chances for and less against since they've started using Keefe.
Yeah, like it's a different brand of hockey, and it's suited to this team.
Teams are getting shot.
It would be ignorant to say that by watching the games, the Leafs don't look like a different team.
They look completely different.
And it's not even a different team. It's a different team for the better. Like it's suited to their personnel, and that's how to win. It's been the winning formula for Keefe and Dubas for I don't know how long they've been together, but since their days in junior.
Yep.
And this whole conversation is peaked by like we had a conversation with one of our friends yesterday, and we disagreed just because like he was bringing up Lucas, who's been on the show before. Yep. He was bringing up that the Leafs look like they're making the same mistakes that they have, like at every playoffs, which I disagree with. They look like different team.
To be honest, though. You're a young team. Like, obviously, you can't excuse the fact that Matthews is throwing up the puck in the middle of the ice that leads to a goal. Like, that happens. It happens, and it's part of the growth period. Like, he's 21 years old, 22 years old. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, they're not veteran players by any means.
We forget how young this roster is. Yeah, like the core of this roster is all under 24, except for Tavares. But like the rest of them, like even Cap, Janssen, Marner, Matthews, Nylander, like they're all young. Like
it's a very young team.
They're still learning how to play the game.
Like a comparable for Matthews is Eichel, who's making comparable money. Matthew's making slightly more, right? Or $1 million more, less AAV. But the point is, like, he's never made the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's no
this team is going, like, hey, maybe Buffalo makes the playoffs and then they just go on this magical run the first time that they do. But I do agree, like, I agree with the sentiments that Babcock says, like, that there's growing pains, like with any team. And with players, like, there's peaks and valleys, and you need that. You need adversity in order to be good. Do I think that the Leafs are going to win the cup this year? Probably not. Like, do I think that?
Yes.
I don't even know if it's a failure if you don't come out of the first round. Like, you got to realize how many times.
I'd like to see a round.
I would love to see them come out of the first round, but when you realize that if you win the third seed in the Atlantic, you're playing probably Tampa, since Boston's been the best team in the league.
And if you get that last wild card again in Boston, so
exactly, you realistically have to think, like, is it realistic? It's not.
It's a hard matchup, man. Like, there's two other superstar teams in this division that, like, if you match up with one of them, you're not in for a good run.
Yeah, and it takes time to break through. Look how long it took Washington to break through.
Yeah, like, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if you look at Crosby and Malkin, they were drafted in 2004 and 2005, and they didn't win their first cup until 2009, 5 years later.
Yeah.
You look at Kane and Taze, they were drafted in 2007, and I'm pretty sure like 2008. And like, they didn't win they were a little bit closer relative to their draft year, but 2010.
But they also have guys like Keefe and Seabrook and all these other.
They had veteran players. Like, this is a team that's purely like
the Leafs let go of their veteran players because it made sense to. Not paying them. But if you wanted them to be in a scenario like that, well, you'd have to make it work. But the NHL that we live in today is different than the NHL of the past.
Yes,
for the better.
That is the one
from an optic standpoint of just like viewing the game, but also like players make more money now. That's just the flat out truth.
Yeah, like Nylander's $6.9 million is not a lot of money in this league.
Relative to what other players are making, it's a steal.
Like, yes, in 1992, that was a lot of money. That's your top level guys. But like, welcome to 2019, where the salary cap is a hell of a lot higher and guys are making more. You're still not even close to any other sport. Like, your top end guys are still not close to any other sport. Like, guys are going to make more money, and it's going to continue to grow like that until it's just going to keep growing. There's no end to that. So 6.9 for a guy like Nylander, it's average. It's average for a good player.
Like, would you not rather have your top level players make the most amount of money? Like, I think that just makes sense to me.
Yeah. The one thing I posted on Instagram on the account a little while back, it was a Leaf thing, and it was basically like which Leafs were overvalued and stuff. And this one guy commented about how Matthews was making way too much money. And I'm like, well, realistically, Matthews is a top 10, maybe top 5 player in this league. If you compare his numbers, like his cap percentage when he signed to guys like Crosby and Ovechkin, Crosby took a hometown discount, quote unquote, and still was 12.4%, I believe it was. Matthews,
I think it was the highest possible.
Yeah. I think he could have taken more, but Matthews was at 14 something. Alex Ovechkin's at 16.8. Yeah, he signed. Like, this is not a deal that's like crippling by any means. It's the same as every other superstar.
There's luck in everything. It was with Crosby and Ovechkin. It's the fact that the salary cap spiked. Do I know
it'll happen here?
I think you hope that it does for the good of the league.
With the expansion,
and the TV
expansion
coming in.
It's gonna happen within their deals. So relax. So we don't win the cup this year. Okay. Like,
there's still positive growth.
Matthews is still 22 years old. Like, in 3 years, he's going to be 25. Like, I don't understand why the big rush. It's like, yeah, okay, you have Barry and Muzzin running out, and your defense is going to get overhauled. Okay, that's fine. You have young guys that can come up. You can sign guys in the offseason when you have that cap space. I don't understand what the panic is. Like, maybe we don't even make the playoffs this year. Does it really matter? Like, yes, it sucks because
I want a team that goes for it, like that can. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that the Leafs went all in to make the playoffs and to do well.
Yeah,
like, at least they're giving you that hope.
Yeah. They tried.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's the thing. It's like you mentioned before with Washington. They've had so many cup runs where their rosters were better than the one that they actually won with in 2018.
Yeah, it's not always the best team on paper that wins. It's
like the year before the year before when they trade for Shattenkirk, right?
Yeah, they went all in that year.
They went all in, and
same story. They lost to the Penguins in the second round.
Yeah, last year with Tampa, like Tampa trades for McDonough 2 years ago. They trade for McDonough and JT Miller.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go?
Didn't work. No. People, Leaf fans suck.
I think the NHL playoffs is the most like just get into the playoffs and then
anything can happen.
Yeah, anything's possible.
That's the thing. This team could squeak into that second wild card spot. Do I think they could be Boston? Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
like Columbus and Carolina, prime example last year.
They're a tough team. I understand. They're gonna outmuscle you, but like you can outscore that. It's not that big a deal, man. It's welcome to the new NHL where speed kills, and it has for so many teams that have won cups. It's like just outskate a team. Outscore them, you're going to beat Boston. Boom. Next round, you're going to get what? Tampa? It's a tough matchup, sure, but like do the same thing. Just outscore them.
It's the matter of playing your style of hockey and not allowing the other team to impose their style on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been that for time and time again with the Bruins these past couple series that, they get suckered into playing their nitty-gritty kind of hockey, and that's not how the Leafs play. And Babcock loves playing that kind of style, and it's not the right personnel to do
and
that.
It literally fits no player on the team.
Exactly.
You're trying to get a fish to climb a tree.
Yeah.
Said that a few times.
Sure. Do you guys watch the Philadelphia game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was flipping from Raptors, the Raps Heat game, and that. So once it became 3-1 with the empty netters,
I turned it off at 4-1.
You did what the Leafs did and gave up.
Basically, so explain like what just happened. Like Freddie gave up, they gave up. Like
the team kind of gave up in front of them. Like you could tell they just folded. Like they scored the empty netter, and it was just kind of like, well, the game. I had the same attitude, man. The game was over.
No,
whatever. Those last two goals.
That happens, it's whatever.
Those last two goals are in the last minute and a half of a 3-goal game. Like who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like the game was close up until that point. Like whatever. They set up a nice play. Gostisbehere rifled one. Great shot. You don't have any defensive coverage on that. It was a great shot. And then they just fell asleep and let James Van Riemsdyk get a breakaway somehow. He's going to bury that. He's good and tight. And that's it. The game they gave up. It's fine. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. Like, don't give me this, they're being lazy. It's the last fucking 2.5 minutes. You're not scoring 3 goals. Who cares?
Well, the thing I took from that game was that, they tie it whatever it was, however early into the third it was. And then, they say time and time again that, you're most vulnerable when you get scored on. And it was whatever, like a minute and a half right after the goal. And then boom, they're back in the lead. And I think that's just such
it was a
morally defeating thing for them. And I think that's just, it speaks to the youth of the team. Like they got to get over that kind of, oh shit kind of mentality where, when things don't go their way, they get down on themselves and it just, boom, it spirals into that kind of thing where you saw in the last minute they give up 2 goals. I think it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah. Those last 2 goals are just I don't put any stock into that, man. Like it's over. Like who cares?
All right, let's talk about Hutch now.
No.
Oh, rut roll.
Everyone realizes that something needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
But what can legitimately be done? Because I'm like, who is out there that has a goalie surplus that is willing to help the Leafs, that is a significant enough upgrade to warrant the assets that you need to give up?
Mackenzie Blackwood.
Why is New Jersey giving him up?
Because they suck and they don't have any faith in him.
For my fantasy team sake,
I think it's nothing. Like he's on a rookie contract.
I think it's an ELC.
I think the cost is going to be way too high. But
it's probably like a second rounder.
Everyone's on the Tristan Jarry train. I don't think that's a thing because Pittsburgh kind of needs Tristan Jarry right now.
Winning games for them right now.
Yeah, Matt Murray isn't even starting. It's Tristan Jarry's net, so that's not a thing. Get that out of your head. And then other than that, like there's 5 guys that the Leafs can afford, and one of them's Hutch, and the rest of them suck.
Casey DeSmith, what about him?
He's in the minors with.
And I can pull it up. I'm on Cap.
I don't know what his stats are, but I remember he was able to.
He's on a league man. He's not a league man, but he's not a rookie deal still. I mean,
no 1.25.
Oh, is he really? He's making more than
for 3 years.
Jeez, never mind.
That's hilarious.
Another guy was Eric Comrie. I think he got traded to
Detroit.
Yeah,
he was drafted by Winnipeg.
Yeah. Well, he was with Winnipeg for. I don't know if he was drafted by them.
I think your answer is Casimir Kaskisuo right now. Like, I think that's realistically your only option.
Fuck it.
Give him another shot.
Do it.
He didn't get a fair shake the first time around. Like by any.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He got one chance, and it was against Pittsburgh, who just dominated the defensive
right from the get-go. Like it was.
He had no chance, man. I mean, give him a shot. You already threw a bone to Hutchison. He let it go over his glove hand. So give it to someone else.
Multiple times.
Yeah, like 4 times. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Give it to Kaskisuo. Like, give him a couple games. If that doesn't work out, then we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But it's a backup goalie. Realistically, like I'm not saying it's a great idea, but fuck it, just run Anderson.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth the asset they'd have to give up, especially with the cap crunch involved.
You've already played most of your back-to-backs anyways. Like, what's the worry here? Maybe Freddie plays 2-3 more back-to-backs. Mm-hmm. Is that really that big a deal? Like, no, don't fucking spend assets to get a backup goalie, a league min backup goalie at that. Like, no, the argument. I hate the argument. It's just your backup's really not that important of a position, and it helps. And like I know I've put up the argument myself where there's all the championship teams in the last few years have had a really good backup goalie, and it helps. But like in the playoffs, man, as long as Freddie stays healthy.
Well, that's the thing.
It's not. The backup goalie move isn't to help in the playoffs. It's to help get you to the playoffs.
Sure, but rock with Freddie. He'll make it anyways, and he'll be fine. He can handle it. He's a grown ass man.
How about Anthony Stolarz?
How about what's his name from Minnesota?
Stalock.
He's not making much.
No, Stolarz is making $750,000 for this and next.
Realistically, if you can get these guys for cheap,
who's Stolarz? Was this with the Flyers?
Anaheim.
He's with Anaheim,
and it's only like for now. It's only for now because Gibson's hurt, right?
Oh no, I think he practiced today, but he'll be back.
I didn't even know he was hurt.
So then they have Ryan Miller and Stolarz. I think you'd make a move for Stolarz. Maybe like Stolarz numbers aren't bad. It's a 908.
I think you try anything, man.
At this point, give a shot to anybody who's got decent enough numbers and can fit within the cap constraints.
Like my thing is, you think that Kyle Lewis wouldn't fucking make a move if he could?
Sure, exactly. That's the thing. Like, he understands that our backup situation sucks.
Yeah.
What do you want him to do?
He's a bright enough man. Like he's a whiz kid. That's how you coined him as from the start. I mean, knows he's able to, diagnose the problems with his team.
The Hutch move bringing him back up wasn't his decision. The players wanted him back. They wanted to give him another chance. Well, it didn't work. So
next.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sorry, you gave him another chance. Give somebody else a chance. If that doesn't work, well, maybe we need to start looking elsewhere. And there's not much out there.
Yeah.
Unless you want to give up someone like
it's just the point of don't make a rash decision and don't don't make a knee-jerk reaction just because of one loss and say, do the unthinkable and make a sudden change that's going to be it could be detrimental to the franchise.
Yep.
It's like Leafs fans went from panicking over Babcock, fire Babcock, and now they just want another move right after.
Something to panic. They just there's got to be something wrong.
Instant,
what is it?
Instant gratification.
Like, relax. It's been 7. What did we say? 7 games with Keefe. Yeah. That's the smallest sample size you're going to get.
Yep.
Like, come on, give it a minute. Talk to me in the new year.
This year might have just gone to shit with the start of the season with Babcock because you never made a move on Babcock.
It's real hard to try and come back from that.
Yeah.
You're trying to learn new systems in December. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a pretty sight for a little while, and when they figure it out, they'll probably be good enough to make the playoffs. But
like a lot of these guys have had to play this Babcock system for the last 3 years. Yeah. I mean, Tyson Barrie, I think, is the one-off because he only had to play for 4 months or whatever, a month and a half, and now he's come in and he's like, "Oh wow, back to doing what I'm normally doing."
Yeah,
and he's adjusted right away.
Oh, I forgot how good this felt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Same with Spezza. Same thing. He's like, "Oh look, the ice! Wow." Lots of things. It's stupid. I hate Leaf fans.
It's stressful.
I hate Leaf fans, both sides of the ball. It's just I don't like Twitter. I don't like seeing what people say. It's fucking brutal.
I love sports, but like this isn't the end all be all. Like, fuck, why are we getting so worked up about it?
Why can't we just enjoy the games? They're fun games, man. Like I heard someone say like the Leafs are playing boring hockey. I'm like, no. That Colorado game was like 39-37 shots. Like,
yeah,
it's a high quality game, man. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like, what do we want? Like, sorry, we didn't win every game that Keefe has coached. Like, it's not going to happen. It's hockey.
Like they thought like, oh, you fire Babcock, magic pixie dust, and then the Leafs are just going to go on this.
We're going undefeated for the rest of the season. Apparently,
what do you mean?
We're going to beat all the good teams, and we're going to slap the bad teams. And like, man, good teams will beat other good teams. That's kind of what happened. We beat 2 good teams when we started. And then we lost to 2 good teams.
And when we go on that stretch of games against bad teams,
there's a chance. Yeah, we're probably going to slap the bad teams, and there's a chance we lose to the good teams. It happens. Welcome to sports.
Hey, sports. You win and you lose.
Yep. Even the best teams are going to lose, what, 20-30?
Look at Tampa. They're not now. They haven't played as many games as a lot of teams, but they're not what they were last year.
No. They were record-setting last year.
And it's hard to do that on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
Especially if you're putting up records the year before. Like, it's not sustainable.
No. Let's relax. Leafs fans, stop. Just enjoy what's in front of you and have fun. Please. For me. Let's move on. I'm done with the Leafs.
Yeah, let's...
I'm just, yeah. Leafs.
You sure?
Yeah, no, but
sure?
I don't want to talk about them anymore.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of it, man. It's just so ridiculous that like people still have some of these takes. But hey,
you don't want to talk Leafs trades? More trades?
No.
You know what? You don't want to
give me a good one that's out there, and I might agree with you. But
I just saw a joke
like telling me you want to trade Andreas Janssen for Grit. Like that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like he is kind of your only grit right now. So like let's get rid of.
I don't think Janssen's grit at all.
Dude, he grinds. He grinds harder than just about anyone on that roster.
Hyman.
And you're gonna Hyman. Just about anyone. Like Hyman's at least Janssen can put the puck in the net.
Does he?
Over Hyman. He's got the points to back it up. And Hyman's playing with John Tavares.
Mauro, you can disagree with me, that's fine, but like I just don't know about that line. Like, I just think that it's 2 different lines at the same time. I think it's like Matthews, Nylander, and then Janssen is just there.
Janssen does some wicked shit in transition that I think a lot of people just don't see. Because, like, some of the stuff he does, like receiving passes and making passes and, like...
he's the other guy on that line.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. Anyone that's there is going to be the other guy unless you put Mitch Marner there. But, like, he fits that role
might not be
really
the
well.
best use of his talents.
Mitch?
Yeah.
No.
Janssen. Yeah. I think he's got the grit role to him that he can play. He's good on the penalty kill, like he's been doing.
That's why I would love like a Tavares, Janssen, Kapanen.
I just back to my point is I don't understand why you're trying to get rid of guys that play the defensive side of the game for a guy that's going to come in and play that role. Like you're trading the wrong assets away for. You're not going to get better doing that.
No, like when I've said that, I've been like, okay, let's trade like Kapanen for Pesci. Like that is a significant upgrade.
If you want to improve your back end, then you use one of those guys. But if you're like,
you've now changed. I've changed it the last day.
It's the only assets you have that like I don't like trading them. I think those deals are incredible for what you're getting out of them. So I think it's stupid to let those guys walk to pull in anything. But like if you want to pull in a D-man, that's what you're gonna have to give up. Maybe a Kerfoot. But
I wouldn't give up Kerfoot just because
I wouldn't give up Kerfoot. Like the only problem is you'd have to get rid of CC's contract in order to do anything.
Man, everyone
requires offloading an offset an offsetting piece.
Who the fuck wants Cody Cece? This is the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, we'll trade Cody Cece in a package." No, you won't. Nobody can take on that.
That's the only problem. That's the only way to make things happen is to get rid of that cap, so you have the flexibility to make something that can actually better your team.
Give me a team that can actually afford to do it.
CC is literally
Detroit,
cap filler.
or then maybe not Detroit with their cap.
Well, even Detroit. Who the hell do you want on Detroit? If I'm like, here, Detroit, take Cody Cece off.
There's only 6 teams that can legitimately has guys, and then among them, who can make moves for you? Like who's got
and who would be willing to do that? Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, there's already a limited amount of teams that can take on the Cody Cece contract. And half of them don't have anything worth taking, and the other half, you have no guarantee that they want to take Cody Cece anyways.
But that's what I mean. Like, you've already made the move from turning a Zaitsev contract, or it was a longer term, into this. So like you eat a year of Cody Cece for the sake of cleaning up the next however many years remaining on what Zaitsev's contract was.
Chris Tanev's been shit, but can you flip CC for Tanev?
No.
If you attach assets.
If I'm Vancouver, why the fuck do I do that?
Well, if Vancouver's not in it, is Vancouver still in it? I can't.
They're in the second.
They're basically the Leafs of 2016, whatever it was.
They're a good team, man. Like
they're not just playing their hockey. There's no rough expectation.
They're rough 5-on-5. Like they look scary, but like their power play is deadly, and they're winning games, man. Their goalie tandem's incredible. Like they're winning games, and they're gonna be in that spot. So like you can't even look at Vancouver as a team. It's like, oh, we'll dump this guy too because they're not gonna want him. Yeah. Any team that's in the mix isn't going to want Cody Cece.
I mean, in the sake of he only has this year left, the expiring contract makes it a little bit more appealing. But like I don't think anybody's out there saying to the Leafs, "Yeah, we'll do you a solid, we'll do you a favor." No. Like I don't think anybody's out there
wants to help the Leafs.
That team.
CC is the cap filler to get you the player to come back, but then you have to. That's not an asset. That's just a person.
Yep.
In that trade,
you're not getting anything.
You got to add the assets on top of that.
You're not even getting a Cody Cece back in that.
Yeah,
like Cody Cece's not a bad third pairing defenseman.
A Patrick Mauro 2.0.
Yeah. Is Colin Miller available? But why would Buffalo want to help you?
No, exactly. Like that, and they're also battling for a playoff spot. They're in the same spot.
That's my exact point.
Why do you take on Cap and just unhandcuff?
They're in the same race as the League.
All right, let's go. Yeah, you're in the same division.
Yep.
Just there's no options out there. Like it's great thought. Try and get rid of the Cody Cece contract. Sure, find me a spot.
A lot easier said than done. That's the thing.
I'll give you an award if you can figure out a way to get anything useful from that contract. Just make use of what he is. Remember 10 minutes ago when I said I don't want to talk about the Leafs anymore?
No, I said no.
It just never ends. There's just so many things with this team.
Because legitimately, look at each team. Okay, Anaheim was the team that I was like,
sure.
You could. They've been talking about dealing Manson for the last 6 months or something, which I don't understand why. But CC and him have basically the same cap hit.
Yeah.
What's the assets that you're going to give up to get him? I think that would be the dream because then you'd run a Riley Manson first pair.
But if I'm Anaheim, do I do that?
It's like I'd be like, okay, send me back Kapanen or Janssen.
Okay. So realistically, you're looking at trading Kapanen or Janssen for Manson and then just dumping CC. Like CC's irrelevant in the deal.
Anaheim's 500.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they started hot, but they fell off.
Yeah. There's not teams that are out of it that have good players available.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I got that. Don't worry.
Like, would Carolina want to mess with their core? I don't know. Like, why would they?
No, not to take Cody Cece.
Right, let's move on.
Now we want to move on?
Yeah.
The Blues could trade.
All right.
But we could get Alex Pietrangelo. Cody Cece for.
Oh my God. I was just reading this bullshit proposed trade on lease rumors.
Oh, yikes.
It was like Robert Thomas, Alex Pietrangelo for CC, Liljegren, and Bracco and a first. I was like, why are they trading Robert Thomas in this?
Yeah, let's get rid of
our league right now. Let's trade away our best prospect along with our captain.
St. Louis is not selling
last year. Like,
they're not selling. Like, don't give me that.
They were selling. You know when they were selling? Last year in December.
Yep. We missed our window. Sorry, you're not getting him from St. Louis. Say goodbye to that train. Just let it go. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Also,
what if New Jersey retains 50% on PK?
No. He's horrible right now. We had this conversation earlier.
I am just no. But listen.
No.
What is he helping us? He cannot play defense. He's horrible defensively.
I understand that. Yeah. No.
Nope.
I agree. He doesn't help your team with what they need.
Right.
I
so
agree.
What's
I'm just spitballing because I'm looking up shitty teams because I'm like, what? Do you want Damon Severson then?
No, I'd rather have Severson. If I had to take one for the other over the other, I'd take Severson over Subban for what relative to what their caps are worth. Yeah,
honestly, Subban's yikes this year. Yikes. They do not like that.
But retained at 50%, that's what, 4.5?
Like I've defended Subban for so long, but like he just has not been the same player since
really
traded from the Habs. Like it's not even been close.
Cam Fowler's making $6.5 million.
Left-handed shot.
Yeah. What isn't
Manta's right. Manta's right. It's the perfect fit, but why would they do it?
I don't know. Josh Manson's also hurt, so that's.
Yep. Matt Dumba. Okay.
We're done with hockey.
Picks.
Nice.
Oh no, my lip balm. Let's get into it today, just because we don't know if we're going to be able to record Saturday.
Because we are not very consistent.
No, I want to watch college football Saturday. So.
Actually, I will be doing that. Yes, we could talk about college football. I'm very interested in talking.
All right, we'll do it at the end.
After, let's get these picks done, and then I want to talk college football.
All right.
I want to talk about the fact that Alabama
is questions, Mauro? You have questions ready for me?
All right, sure. I have a couple.
Okay. So week 14 picks. We got tonight the Dallas Cowboys at the Chicago Bears. What's happened since with Dallas? They got blown out on Thanksgiving to
our Buffalo Bills.
Our Bills Mafia, baby. The worst 8-3 or 9-3.
9-3 team you've ever seen in your life.
But I love it.
I'm sold on them. I'm sold on them.
Not sold on them, but we're riding them anyways.
Problem is, they're not going to make it past a New England or a Baltimore, but I think they're a decent team.
They can make it past a Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like they're the best. They're a third or a fourth. Like I'd take them.
Duck Hodges, man.
I would take
a quarterback.
I would take the Bills over anyone out of the Titans, Texans, Colts division.
I like the Titans
I like the Texans.
I don't like either of those teams.
JJ Watt comes back for the playoffs.
The Texans just beat the 10-1 Patriots, did they not?
I'm not sold on the Texans ever.
Yeah,
I'm also not sold on the Patriots. Yeah.
Anyways, what's your picks for Thursday night? I think you guys both said Dallas before.
Yippee-ki-yo-ki-yay, the Cowgirls.
Your favorite team in the league.
The whole world.
Rope them.
Move on to Sunday. Indy at Tampa Bay.
Oh, man.
Indy hasn't looked good, really.
Tampa, never.
I think Marlon Mack has a shot at playing. I know it's a good run defense for the Bucks, but
it's one of the best in the league.
Yeah, I still trust that Jameis Winston's going to turn the ball over. So yeah, let's go. Colts.
Dare you?
I don't think I've taken the Bucks once this year.
Are you going to change it now?
Like I've taken the Colts a lot recently, and they've let me down every single time.
I know.
Let's go Colts. I just can't with those Bucks, man.
You guys know who I took?
The Bucks?
Yes,
your
his favorite team.
It would behoove me though for the Bucks to just shit the bed this week.
Yes.
In hopes that the wide receivers do nothing because I face
a
team that has both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So yeah.
So it wouldn't be a bad thing if they don't show up.
Yep. Next game, Baltimore at Buffalo.
Baltimore.
This is gonna be a good game, but I think
Baltimore just beat the best.
Lamar is just too good to stop, and he's too good to handle right now.
How could you guys? How could you?
It's my
no belief in
the worst 9-3 team in NFL history. I love them.
I'm taking the Baltimore.
Yeah, dude. Like the Ravens just absolutely dominated one of probably the best. Okay, the second best defense in the NFL. I'll give the Patriots their due. And now you're going up against a Bills defense that is very clearly not the Niners defense. Pack it in. Thanks.
Detroit at Minnesota.
Yeah, I'll take.
I'd love to see Detroit
win. That's why you're taking them.
No, Minnesota's. Yeah,
Minnesota's been.
I hope Detroit wins. I don't want to see Minnesota in the playoffs. I just don't like that team. Kirk Cousins. Something about him. I just don't like him.
Washington at Green Bay.
Who have you taken in any of these matchups, by the way?
Oh, so, what do you mean? Me?
Yeah, did you actually make a pick? Because you didn't say anything.
I've already made all of my picks like earlier today.
Who did you pick so far then?
For which one? I've said all of them.
All I remember was the Bucks and the Cowboys.
I said Baltimore.
And Baltimore. Okay. After that, who'd you take?
And then Minnesota. No shit.
Okay.
Washington at Green Bay.
Yeah, that's a Green Bay.
Yeah. Washington at Green Bay? Green Bay.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I can't wait till they get slapped because that's what they do.
Denver at Houston. Houston.
Oh, also, Von Miller is probably out for this game.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, that.
I was actually going to take. I was going to take.
It doesn't change my pick, but the Broncos could have won it, maybe.
Drew Lock.
Whatever. Give me the Texans, but I think they have a good shot at winning.
Yeah, it's tough without Von Miller, though.
All right. Should we save this game? Yeah, let's save it. Cincinnati at Cleveland.
Browns.
Yeah, Browns.
I was tempted to take the Bengals last week.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I wanted to take the Bengals this week. I couldn't do it, but
the Browns
they look good.
Yeah.
The Browns just continue to break my heart. They should have won that game. They had all the chances to win that game, and they just didn't do it. I don't.
Carolina at Atlanta.
Speaking of breaking my heart. Oh. Oh. Little chatty in the background.
A little bit.
Oh, we can talk about Carolina real quick. They fired Ron Rivera.
Riverboat Ron.
He will be.
Did.
I don't know if he'll be.
And it didn't really make sense.
No, it's dumb. I don't get it why you're doing it now. They told him they want to try out a couple guys to make sure that these guys can coach for next year so that they're ready by the start of next year. Sure, it's a good thought, but Ron Rivera is one of the best human beings there is in the game.
Yeah.
Don't do that to him. Give him the season. The guys love him. Like the current players love him. His past players love him. Just let him finish the year, man.
He's a good face of your organization.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Also, in a year that like your team shouldn't have had any expectations at all.
We suck. We blew it. They should have 3 or 4 more wins than they have right now, and they don't.
I mean, they kept it really close with the Saints, and then they followed up with a loss to the Redskins.
Yeah, they should have won it against the Saints, and I don't remember his name. Joey Sly. Joey Sly missed one, not even fucking close, and you're on like the 27-yard line. Like that's your win. You need to seal up right there. Boom. That's a win. Week 1 or 2 against the Bucks, they should have won. You're on like the 3-yard line. You can't punch it in. Brutal. And then this week they should have beat Washington, and they sucked.
So
frustrating.
With that being said, who's your pick?
Carolina.
Mauro?
I'll take the Falcons.
Honestly, no. I think I got to go the Falcons.
What the fuck? You made me type it in.
Sorry, man. New coach. It's just I can't.
Well, so it's Falcons all around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Miami at the Jets.
Miami. I don't know if I'm that confident in it, but they beat Philly. They look like a football team again, which is really weird.
So you're taking Miami?
Sure. They both suck. Who cares?
I consider
honestly, yeah. Like I'm really pumped for the Giants that one of these teams is actually going to win another game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go. I don't even know. I don't want to pick any. I'll take the Jets. Fine. I don't care.
It's magic, baby. That's all I got.
It was a hard consideration because I was just like I like the effort that they showed.
The Dolphins are actually playing right now. even though I don't recommend what they're doing to any team that's trying to get a decent prospect this draft, like why are they winning games? I mean,
yeah,
the whole mantra this season
now
was
Tua goes like 10 or 15. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they'll still get the guy they want.
Just fits magic, baby.
Yeah,
that's why.
All right, so there's another fight there.
Who did you take for that one, Ameer?
Jets.
Oh,
the Chargers at Jacksonville.
I don't know what to do with the Chargers anymore. I'm lost.
I don't know what to do with Jacksonville anymore either.
In my pick, I was like, I want to take the Chargers really fucking badly.
Am I allowed to take a tie?
I'll take a tie. All three of us.
It's so brutal.
I don't want to take either of these teams.
Both teams give me zero hope. It's going to be a 0-0 game.
This is going to be a game that I'm going to watch. I'm going to be like, oh, Minshew's going to start. They're going to have some breakthrough again with Minshew mania. And then Phillip Rivers is going to toss 4 touchdowns.
So
I don't know what to do
anymore. Be 9 interceptions aside. It's going to be 0-0. It's going to go to overtime. They're going to have 3 picks in overtime, and it's going to finish 0-0.
Josh Lambo's going to miss a game-winning field goal
with the clock expiring in overtime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In all seriousness, give me the Jags.
I was going to say the same thing.
And I don't love it.
Jags by 1.
I don't like it.
But the storyline that I'm really playing off of is like Phillip Rivers has a bad game. They switch QBs. He gets benched, and it's the end of Phillip Rivers.
What's the deal on this one? Who's at home?
Jacksonville. That's why I took Jacksonville.
It doesn't make a difference. I'm gonna lose this one, and I'm gonna be happy to lose it because I don't like picking either of these teams.
I'm gonna take the Raps.
All right.
The Raps have the best game.
Should we go back? We'll save this one also.
Okay.
Tennessee at Oakland.
This is a big game, actually. This is a really big
game. I'm rolling with my Titans, but who are you guys taking? Even though I was on the Oakland train also.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were trying to convince me that they're a
matchup. No, like these teams are both in the thick of it.
Yeah, it's like a winner goes home kind of. Like
you got a coin.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I've come to trust this year, it's Tanny time.
Yeah,
it's Tanny time. I'm taking the Titans.
Oakland.
Wow.
Because why not?
That's a big buzz.
Because football is weird.
Yeah. Pittsburgh at Arizona.
Arizona. Fuck Pittsburgh.
Ooh. I mean, I'll take the Steelers. They've found magical ways of winning games against teams.
That's just
they have not really had my vote.
I don't think it's an awful pick. I think that I think you can rationally
purely out of spite.
I think you can rationally convince yourself that like Kyler Murray played an awful fucking game last week, and the Cardinals offense just has a bounce back week against the Steelers.
And the Steelers played out of their minds and barely beat the Browns.
But then again, the Steelers have a really good defense. How much is that going to affect them?
Minka's tearing his ACL in first quarter.
Fuck you!
Jeez.
What the fuck?
No, I don't know. I just don't like. I just don't want to pick the Steelers. I fucking hate them. So
Seattle.
Just quack.
I like that Mason Rudolph sitting on the bench though. Because fuck that.
All right, we got another fight there. Me and Mauro going with Pittsburgh. Brant going to Arizona.
Before we move on, was that whole situation with Myles Garrett, not the actual hitting of the helmet, but like all the racial aspects of it? That was after our last pod, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think we ever talked about that, did we?
I don't know.
Kid's a piece of shit.
Who?
Mason Rudolph.
Okay, good.
Hate him.
Did you know that he's like a big time Trump supporter? And
I'm so glad. I think Myles Garrett's suspension should be lessened just because that kid's a prick. I
didn't like the people that were like, "Oh, now you come out and play the race card." It's like, no, I've just been told not to say it until, which I would believe. Yeah. And when you tell me that when it comes out that he's a MAGA man. And then also the Tommy Lawrence stuff.
Does it shock you, man? Look at that kid's face. He just looks like one of those kids.
I don't really like Mason Rudolph from the get-go. Like, he's
also Devin Hodges was just a better fucking quarterback.
And it's a better name. It's a better name that you can get behind. Duck Hodges, man.
Yeah. Quack quack.
Like, come on, that's a guy I could root for. Like, I don't really like Mason Rudolph. Like,
no, take a seat, bud. Hate him.
Seattle at the Rams.
Ooh, a lot of big games for Seattle, and they've been winning.
Why
I'm gonna roll with them.
The Rams.
Yeah, like I never understood I see some people picking the Rams after one good week, and I just don't understand it.
Seattle's had a lot of good weeks. There's the difference.
They took it to the Vikings, so I mean,
I'm running Seattle on that.
Yeah. All right, Mauro.
Yes. Yay! Eli Manning returns to the Giants starting position after Daniel Jones goes out with what's being considered a moderate to high ankle sprain. So honestly, I'm a big fan of this because it gives the Giants a very good shot at losing out the rest of the season. assuming Daniel Jones does not come back, which I don't want him to. Let him get healthy, start it up again next year.
All right.
Eli Manning gets a proper goodbye that he deserves.
That's what I thought was coming
after getting
a loser's goodbye.
A proper goodbye by losing
he gets
out.
He gets a proper goodbye where he's not. His last game isn't him, getting benched and then not being able to throw or play another game. He's actually gonna be able to see out the rest of the season, assuming they don't bring Daniel Jones back. Like I think that it's good for him. He deserves it after everything he's done for the franchise.
He's really gonna be living out the best Eli. Like he's gonna live out his entire career basically in the last couple of games where it's like, it's either I win the Super Bowl or we're a dog shit team.
Yep.
Also, I don't know if you should bring Eli back because basically his record I think is 500 exactly.
So he's gonna.
And it gets broken.
Whoa, you're first.
It'll be below 500.
He's still a Hall of Fame quarterback, in my opinion.
Below 500.
I don't care. He's still a Hall of Fame quarterback, in my opinion.
He still threw a ball at David Tyree's helmet, and it looked great.
He's still got 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Yep.
He's still the only quarterback in league history to beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
He's still not even the best quarterback in his own family.
Hey,
quarterback. I got nothing to that.
Hey, what's the other brother? Cooper. His son is coming up, and
he was a huge guy in college. I heard that he just never panned out after because of the injury.
I don't know about that, but all I know is his son's now a quarterback prospect in the 9th grade or something.
Maybe he'll be the best Manning.
Well, just now
with the Manning family.
The what?
For all we know.
What'd you say? I missed that.
You, Mauro.
The best has yet to come with the Manning family. For all we know, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's why Mauro's taking the Philadelphia Eagles. Am I correct?
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Could be a game.
Which one do we want to go with first? San Francisco, New Orleans, or Kansas City at New England?
I know my Kansas City, New England pick, so
you're picking Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm a run with Pat Jr. on this one.
Oh. I wanted to pick Kansas City.
Do you want me to give you my reasoning for it?
Yes, go.
They've faced 3 good offenses this year, and 2 out of those 3 times their defense looked beatable, and their offense has no ability to score points. Does not matter what the defense is on the other side. Their offense cannot score points.
It's going to get into a scoring contest, which when it's the Kansas City Chiefs, normally it is, then I'm taking the Chiefs.
Tom Brady does not look like Tom Brady anymore. I hate to say it. Like he's missing passes that he shouldn't. His receivers suck. He hates having his receiving core. He hates the entire offense, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're not going to score points. Kansas City's got that offense that it just beats defenses, man.
I think it's still got a good shot at being
it'll be a good game. Yeah.
I took New England still.
Okay. That's fair. I'm still putting my money on Kansas City.
I don't know. I don't feel good about the offense at all, but
the
defense I'm betting on can play well enough.
Mm-hmm.
You can only hold Mahomes at bay for so long because he can beat you in so many different ways. Whether it's the creative flip pass, the gunsling, or even on his feet, he's capable of doing a lot of things. So
I just don't expect New England to put up 2 stinkers in a row.
I don't think they're going to put up a stinker. I think it's just going to be a good game.
Their offense has put up 12
You know, the New England won't want it to go to a shootout, and they'll just control the ball.
Their offense has put up 12 straight stinkers in a row. I don't know what you mean.
But New England as a whole.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But their defense wasn't that bad last game. Like they only allowed, was it 24 points? It's not horrible. That's an average defense.
All right.
They just couldn't shut down DeAndre.
San Francisco at New Orleans.
You guys want to go first? Because I don't actually have a clue.
I'm going to take New Orleans.
I took New Orleans.
I want to take San Francisco because they're fresh off that loss, and I think they snap back.
I don't think San Francisco's that good.
I think they're pretty good. I think this is the tell. I think if they win this game, then I think they're a legit contender.
Yeah.
But this is a big game for them. They need this win.
This was a big stretch for them. I mean, they had Baltimore. They have the Saints.
This is showing your true colors.
Seattle. Like, it's been a tough stretch. And, I mean, they've held their own. Obviously, Baltimore was its own thing. But, I mean, they held tough against the Seahawks. They went into overtime for that. So, I mean.
Is it safe to say Baltimore is a Super Bowl favorite?
I mean, they're the betting favorite now.
Yeah, but like realistically,
I think we're in for a good matchup of the Harbaugh brothers, but just not with Jim anymore. Remember the one in 20?
Yeah. So you mean just
a rematch of whatever the Harbaugh brothers? I forget which year it was.
I'm like, Jim's in Michigan. What do you mean it's going to be a battle?
It's going to be a rematch of what was then the battle of the Harbaugh.
I don't know. I think that you could argue. The problem is in the NFC, there's 3 legitimate contenders.
Yeah.
And in the AFC, there's 1 really good one, and then you can convince me 2 others, right?
In the NFC? In
the AFC.
Oh, I thought you said the NFC. I'm like,
so no. NFC, Seattle, San Francisco, New Orleans. And then in the AFC, Baltimore for sure, and then whatever New England, Kansas City is.
You could convince me that the Patriots are still a football team.
Well, rank in the AFC your contenders right now. Is New England still?
Baltimore's obviously number 1. I don't know if I put New England number 2, man.
New England 2.
I might put Houston above them.
I've never been sold on Houston.
They did just beat New England.
They did.
They've looked really good lately.
But what if New England gets Antonio Brown back?
So then I definitely give it to Houston.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's Baltimore, Houston, New England, Kansas City.
For me, I have Baltimore, New England, Kansas City, Houston. I'm not sold on Houston. Wow. I'm just very biased.
And then in the NFC, it's obviously Dallas won. And then
everybody in the NFC East won.
Yeah, the entire NFC East. Whoever wins it, because you still don't know. It could be the Redskins, which is hilarious. That team is number 1.
Yeah.
Because football. But no, like Green, could you see Green Bay winning it?
Yes, but no.
Like they're a contender.
They just go on some fucking magical run where they just go into Dallas and then they beat Dallas and then they face, like, I could see it because of the quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't count out Aaron Rodgers ever. And then New Orleans is just, they're probably going to lose in some horrible fashion in the NFC Championship because that's what they're doing nowadays. They could win it. Seattle could win it. San Francisco could win it. It's like that division's nuts.
And there's no clear separator really in between them all.
Like they're all beating each other.
Yep.
Seattle beat San Fran. San Fran
matchups are nuts.
I mean, they're gonna play each other, is what I mean. But like, like there's a big 3-way horse race at the top there.
And that's where I'll take the quarterbacks I trust over.
Over
the
Jimmy
ones
G.
I don't. Like,
you don't trust Jimmy G?
Nope. Jimmy GQ.
Start dating Jimmy G. Yeah. Gorgeous man rocket Jimmy G. Former bust Jimmy G.
You could even convince me, like, once we get into playoffs, because Green Bay would have the home game. If San Francisco has to go into there, like, I would probably still take Green Bay. just because I'm betting on the quarterbacks in that scenario.
They've had some bad losses this year, though. That's the only thing that
Green Bay, yeah, they have. The defense isn't what we thought it was at the beginning of the year.
Like week 1 and 2, we were like, "Oh,
that game against the Chargers came out of nowhere."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else we got to talk about? Who was your pick, Brant? Did you take San Francisco or New Orleans?
Yeah, I'll take San Francisco.
Okay. You want to go over the picks quickly? So we all took Dallas tonight. Dallas is up 7-0, so that's
Woo!
nice. I took Tampa Bay. You guys took Indy. Baltimore, we're all taking over Buffalo.
Now that we've all picked Dallas, can I say that I think the Bears are going to win? Because that'll put them into 500, right? This game. So then they're going to win. It'll make them a 500 team, and then the Cowboys will be no wins against 500 teams. Because that's football.
So you're switching to
Chicago? I'm going to keep rocking with the
Cowboys. We all took Minnesota over Detroit. We all took Green Bay over Washington. We all took Houston over Denver. Mauro and I took New Orleans over San Francisco. Brant took San Francisco. We all took Cleveland over Cincinnati. We all took Atlanta over Carolina. We all, me and Mauro took the Jets, and Brant took Miami.
It's magic, baby.
Yeah. All took Jacksonville over the Chargers. I took New England. You guys took Kansas City. Me and Mauro took Tennessee. Brant took Oakland. And then Pittsburgh, me and Mauro. Brant took Arizona.
I'm going to lose that
All
one.
took Seattle. All took Philly over the Giants. This could go great for Brant. It could go
really bad. No idea. I feel more confident in some of the other dumb picks I've made. So,
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know about that New England one, man.
I don't either, but I'm hoping.
Like, out of all the picks I made, like, I feel, how the fuck do I have more confidence in Jameis Winston and Tampa Bay beating Indy than I do of New England right now winning a game?
It's nuts. What a year. Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us.
Who thought? Not me.
Let's move on to, what do you want to move on to? The Jays quickly and like baseball?
There's not much in baseball.
All right. So basically the Jays are talking to every starting pitcher.
Talking. I don't think they're doing much.
Meanwhile, Zach Wheeler signed. Michael Pineda just signed 2 years, $20 million. If they sign a Ryu or who's the other guy? Keuchel?
500 become.
Yeah. To go along with that, the guy that's in Japan, that Josh Lindbaum guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Too, right?
Yeah.
That'd be good. We were talking last night, and I said that if they bring in Ryu, Shoemaker has a great year like he did last year, and he stays healthy. Mm-hmm. And Nate Pearson comes up and looks like a legitimate MLB starter. Then they might push.
They'll be a 500 team.
They might push for 500.
Was Nate Pearson in Buffalo last year?
At the end of last year, yeah.
Okay, so at least he's got AAA under his belt.
He's ready. He's as ready as he's ever going to be, but he won't come up until May.
Because that just makes sense.
Yep. Get
because
that in his contract.
6 years versus 7 years of control.
Yep. 7 years is good. 6 years is not as good.
Yeah,
you're still good, but you're not gonna like we just said. You're not gonna be a competitive team. Like you'll be competitive, but you're not gonna be a competing team.
Oh wait. Okay, before we go into more Jay stuff, okay, let's finish this first. Actually,
there's not much left.
There's nothing more really to say.
No. It would be fun. I hope he comes here.
Yeah,
that's all I've got on the Jays.
Did you guys see the Tom Wilson Jumbo Joe?
Oh, I love it. I forgot we didn't mention that. I love it. That's hilarious.
You didn't see it, Mauro?
Watch the video when you're done this. It's priceless.
So Evander Kane and Wilson were going at it, and then they go back to the bench, and Jumbo Joe was like, Evander Kane will wax you.
It wasn't didn't even start there. It started with like this whole other like argument that they were going back and forth for like a good 35, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he told he's like, yeah, he'd put you to sleep. And Tom Wilson goes, yeah, at least they have a ring. I'm like, he's right.
Just brutal.
I loved it. It was so
Just
good.
hit him where it hurts.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Damn, man.
It's so funny. Good on. I hate Tom Wilson, but I would love to have Tom Wilson on my team.
Oh, 100%.
Solid guy off the ice.
Great.
Like
CC and Kapanen for Tom Wilson.
Yeah, that's probably what the old Leaf fans are thinking. All the boomers are like, yeah, we need Tom Wilson. They'll trade Cody CC 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Same cap hit.
So Zach Wheeler is making $100 million, and he's the first pitcher to have like the least amount of innings ever making it. And he's basically getting paid off of his last 5 starts because he had an ERA in the 4s until August, and then his last 5 starts he was really good.
Zach Wheeler,
Zach
Wheeler has always been Wheeler on that rotation has always been the guy that's like, you know what, Zach Wheeler could be really good, but we've never seen him healthy, and we've still really never seen him. Like, yes, he could be good, and he might be what you thought Zach Wheeler was going to be, but like, is he going to stay healthy? I doubt it. Doesn't show it yet. He's an Aaron Sanchez. Aaron Sanchez, yeah, he could have been good, but he's never healthy. What's the point? I didn't even count him in the rotation for the last 2 years because he didn't matter. You're never going to see him anyways. And I think that's what Zach Wheeler is. Like, you're paying him a lot to do it, which is shitty. But until he gets healthy and proves it, I think this deal sucks, obviously. But Zach Wheeler has the ability to turn around, make it worth it. See what he does.
Stall a little more. I'm trying to look up.
The Phillies rotation is yikes. So I guess they kind of needed something, but I don't know if Zach Wheeler was the play. There's so many free agents out there that why is the first guy you go after Zach Wheeler? I understand he's coming closer to home and doing all that, but you need a lot of help. I think I've said that
with the Mets last year or no?
Wheeler? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's moving on.
Yeah. It just wasn't a fit there anymore. He needed to go somewhere.
Okay.
Yep.
So Zach Wheeler has thrown 749 and 1/3 innings pitched in his regular season MLB career. That's the fewest MLB innings for any pitcher at the time of signing a $100 million contract. Prior fewer, Steven Strasburg at 825, and then before that, Yu Darvish at 832.
Strasburg is a similar situation too because he was never healthy in the beginning of his career.
Yeah, but Strasburg everyone knew was good.
He was gross. Was he not a first overall pick?
Yep.
Yeah. And like he was the consensus, like, yeah, this kid is disgusting. And he just couldn't stay healthy. And then now he's healthy and probably leaving the Nats.
And then that's the thing with Garrett Cole that just came out, that basically the Yankees are willing to go where
no team has gone before.
Basically, yeah.
Sounds like
they have ownership approval to make record-setting offer.
Fuck the Yankees.
Not the first time.
Hate this team.
Nope. It's like CC all over again.
I was really trying to like not hate the Yankees in the playoffs. I'm right back. Fuck those guys. Stop flexing your goddamn bank account. Build a team. Stupid. They're gonna win it, but whatever. Hate them. Still hate them.
What else do we have? Okay. What's your Raptors point that you want to make?
Okay. So we're all gonna disagree on this. And I'm the only one in this country that's going to be on this side. But like the biggest story for 2-3 years now has been like the Raptors don't get the respect they deserve. Sure. I get it. Like, yes, we are NBA champions. Congratulations. But realistically, this team doesn't make anyone money. Like if you're trying to give like screen time and you're trying to give all these national games and respect to teams and like look at these teams, you're not going to the Raptors because nobody cares down south. Like sure, we deserve more respect based on the win, like the amount, like our ability to win, yes, but like it's not about that. It's about the fact that they can't market this team.
But it's also just journalistic integrity and
Yeah, okay, fine. Like, but like you're looking at like power rankings that literally don't matter. And it's like, yeah, we didn't crack the top 10. Who cares? It's a power ranking. It's to get these fans looking at teams that they want to be on.
I disagree with that. See okay. The power rankings are stupid.
Yeah.
One, like I just think that just shows like how. I think that's fine that you can have a chip on your shoulder from that, because I think that Toronto sports. I think that's something that we always have.
If you're a Toronto Raptor, you could be pissed. Yeah, yes,
it's silly though, because the Raptors beat the 76ers only to see them now below the 76ers in the power rankings.
Also beat the Lakers and.
But like that's what I get. Like I don't get it. Like they're beating teams without Kyle and without Serge this last 2-week stretch, and there's no respect put on them. Like I don't get that.
Don't get me wrong.
I get it from the perspective of it's so hard to market this team because they're
television ratings. Television ratings that actually it makes sense. Like national TV games.
Yeah,
sure.
Legitimately, it makes no sense to market this team as more than what they are because you're not going to make any money off this team. So what's the point? It's like those things. I just think it's really overblown because they probably deserve more respect. They're never going to get it, so I don't know why we bother.
But in rankings from
holding them accountable,
journalists, and I think that's a totally different thing.
Also get some clicks. At this point, you know that Raptors fans are going to be pissed and it's going to spark an outrage. So people are going to go and read your shit. Yeah. So why not put the Raptors lower and be like, oh, no respect.
Clickbait.
Yep, exactly. And it works, and all of Canada goes to read because they're like, "Oh, look where we rank the Raptors."
Yep.
I think it's way overblown. It's like, you know what? All the power rankings, the national TV stuff, it's all to make money. And sorry, this team isn't going to make anyone money. I think they're great, and this team's good. There's a strong chance they get back to the finals again. Am I wrong on that? You're a bigger NBA guy than I am. Like. Yeah. There's a chance. I don't think it's a great chance, but there's a chance.
There's 4 teams you could convince me are going to make the finals.
Yeah.
Maybe even 5 in Miami.
Could you foresee it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're still a good team, and I hope they do well. But you just don't make anyone money. Our Canadian dollars.
I just think that we shouldn't care what other people think.
No,
who cares?
Exactly. Like that's what I mean. It's overblown. Like it really does not matter. Like just enjoy the team that's out there. Like we know we're good.
Well, that's the thing. Like. They say whatever they want. At the end of the day, the Raptors are going to be the Raptors. They're going to let their play do the talking. It's been that mantra for the last 3 years, and finally we shut everybody up and we won. So
I don't think
it's just going to go back to the status quo.
Yeah, I don't think it helps that we don't have any sort of superstar in this team. Like Kyle Lowry's a good guy, good player. Pascal's a good guy, good player, but none of them are like, we don't have a Kawhi anymore. We don't have a Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. We don't have
Okay, but that's where you're wrong. So Bill Simmons was ranking players in the league.
Okay.
And he was he ranked 6 ahead of Pascal.
Yeah. Sure. Like Pascal's good, but
Embiid, Simmons, Jokic.
Is Pascal a superstar?
I'd say.
Right now, yeah.
Like a superstar though, like you look at this guy.
So right now, he had I'm trying to think off the top of my head. He had LeBron, Luka, Giannis, Anthony Davis. Who else is out?
Kawhi?
James Harden and Kawhi. And then he had
Simmons and Embiid below him.
Yeah, because Simmons and Embiid aren't Pascal.
Did you guys ever talk about when Embiid literally didn't score a point against the Raptors?
No, we didn't.
I don't think
we
haven't. I think that deserves mention.
Okay, but ever since he's been playing at an MVP level.
Yeah, but that's not important. What's important is that he couldn't score a point against the Raptors.
Sorry.
A big fat 0.
Can we get a quick update on how many 3-pointers that Ben Simmons has?
1.
Still feel confident?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Good.
All right.
It's gonna hit 9 in a game.
Okay.
Wow. Light the fire. That thing's hot.
Yeah. It's a hot take. All right, Mauro, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm excited because I've never actually paid attention to anything college football related for some time until Me and a couple of my buddies are like, yeah, this is gonna be huge. LSU versus
Georgia.
Georgia is gonna be a game breaker because
that's the game of the week. Without
what are your thoughts? Like LSU takes this one, no?
They're the favorite. It'll be interesting to see Georgia's defense against LSU because it's probably the best defense that they've faced all year. Like I'll say this even as an Alabama fan, that the Alabama team was fraudulent on defense all year. Like that wasn't their identity. Their identity was their offense, and it's the same with LSU. LSU's defense over the past couple of years have been really good. This year it's not, and the problem is the two worst aspects of each team is going to be on the field at the same time. It's the Georgia offense against the LSU defense, and it's how many points can Jake Fromm score, and that's who knows.
And that's a win and you're in for Georgia.
Yeah, it's how much
they don't win, they're basically out of it.
Like if Georgia wins, they're in, and if LSU loses, they're still in.
So that's what I don't understand. Like, why does LSU care though?
Because you want to have the number 1 seed, but also like it's just pride. Okay. Like you want to have an undefeated season. You're undefeated.
Right now. They're still undefeated?
Yeah.
Oh, Baylor. I didn't know that.
Baylor.
I think that Oklahoma's if Georgia loses, I like Oklahoma, but then again, that takes away the potential of Alabama versus Oklahoma in like one of the bowl games because that could be cool. Jalen versus Alabama.
So Baylor.
What's with you and Baylor?
You ever watch the Pat McAfee show?
Not really.
They're all over Baylor, and it's a blast right now. But
Baylor's playing Oklahoma, right?
Huh? They're playing who?
Oklahoma.
Baylor.
Oklahoma is definitely the favorite there.
Yeah. And then the other one is Utah, Oregon. So I'm just trying to run through scenarios right now.
So here's the thing. Let's just go like this. So the current standings is Ohio State 1, LSU 2, Clemson 3, Georgia 4. If Ohio State wins, they're in. If Ohio State loses, they're in. They're in regardless. Yes. Same thing with LSU.
And same thing with Clemson.
If they lose, they're out.
Mr. Hammond, I have a question.
Really?
What's up?
There seems to be a serious lack of Alabama in there. Would you care to tell me why that
is? Fuck off, bud. You could fuck right off.
Okay, so Clemson's also a 28-point favorite against Virginia. So like the chances of them losing
is slim to none.
Slim? Okay.
They're a 26.5-point favorite.
Okay, I'm reading it on the score. They're having a 28. So whatever. Multiple scores.
Yeah.
LSU and Georgia. LSU, I have it here 7 in favor of LSU.
Okay.
Which I mean, but you're thinking that this is going to be close with them being the slight favorite?
It could be close, but I'm still taking LSU even with the points. I'd probably take LSU.
Oklahoma and Baylor.
Yeah,
that one's 9 in favor of Oklahoma, but this is a 6 versus 7 scene. Like I don't get it.
Okay, so the thing is, Oklahoma. So they played a couple of weeks ago, Oklahoma and Baylor, and Baylor was winning 28-3 or something, and Jalen Hurts came back and beat them.
They won 34-31 last time they met 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I like Oklahoma because they can just score. I believe in Lincoln Riley and Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Even though Baylor's good, they're just solid.
Utah versus Oregon.
Utah is good, but the thing is Justin Herbert, so it's between him and Tua for the second best quarterback in this next draft, right? Basically, Justin Herbert, he could have won last year and he didn't just because he was
committed to another year. No,
I think Tua's gonna have a tough time being a good quarterback when he's got one leg.
Yeah, fuck off.
Jesus.
So Pac-12, fuck. Utah is definitely the favorite because they have a really. It's going to be a solid game. A team can win, and both teams could still be out of the playoffs. Like
that's what I'm saying. So
conference championships doesn't matter as much in college football rather than like the eye test and stuff like that. What's up?
Sidebar. So Peter Mrazek, Joe Thornton
on the head or something.
Man, Joe Thornton just dropped him in one punch.
Big flop.
Big flop. No, well, so Joe Thornton came in and kind of poked at him as he had the puck covered. Mrazek got pissed and like jabs at him with his stick. So he got up and skated towards him. Fucking Joe just gives him one. And Mrazek flopped like a son of a bitch. I think he might actually be hurt, but like just like poof. He went from vertical to horizontal real quick.
Okay. So this goes to my question now in terms of scenarios.
Shoot.
Georgia wins.
Yep.
Utah, Oklahoma are both out regardless.
If Georgia wins, yep. Okay. Georgia wins. If Georgia wins, Clemson wins, then yes.
Okay. I'm assuming Clemson won't lose.
I assume that
all scenarios. So then let's say Georgia loses, Utah wins, and so does Oklahoma.
Yep.
Who goes
then
in?
That's the question. Which one of them gets in? And that's up to the committee. It's just going to be based off of like style and how they look, honestly.
Really?
So if Laval wins the U Sports Cup.
Shut the fuck up. Guelph gets in.
Guelph gets in? What about
Western?
Western, yeah. Or Windsor.
Who knows?
Laurier's good.
Laurier.
Dal doesn't have a football
guy that's
team.
on the Laurier.
Did they have a chance of winning the national title?
Is that all the scenarios you got?
UBC.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and upsets
like everybody I know is talking.
I like Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma more than Utah, but Utah is more of an all-around team, while Oklahoma doesn't really have a defense, but they have an elite offense. And I'd rather see Oklahoma versus like at number 4 and then Ohio State at 1. Like that'd be a fun game, and then LSU Clemson. I'd really like that. What's up?
Could I be the starting quarterback for the Guelph Humber football team?
No, I don't think so.
Who would beat me up?
Short.
I don't need to be tall.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes, Kyle. Have
you seen that school? There's not a lot of tall people anyways. I think I'd have a chance.
Fair enough. So, like, my point is, like, everybody I know is saying that Georgia had, like, the toughest schedule. So, and, like,
LSU did.
No, relative of the 3. So, between Georgia, Oklahoma, and Utah.
Of the opponents this week? Oh, okay. Yeah. Of those, yeah, I agree.
And like
they had Notre Dame, Florida, and then now LSU. That's elite teams, yeah.
So like the committee doesn't look at that.
No, the committee does look at that. That's why they're number 4.
But basically, all of that's going to go to shit if they lose against
LSU. As it probably should, because that'll be their second loss of the year.
But that's what I mean.
And are you taking a 2-loss Georgia to then go play Ohio State? I wouldn't like
again after losing versus an Oklahoma who, I mean, they could be 12-1. So that's
exactly with a conference champion.
Yeah, because I was reading up on like the criteria, like a conference championship gives you points.
It does, yeah.
Record and that, yeah.
Strength of schedule. What's up?
Yeah.
This is actually related. Okay. What bowl game does Bama play in?
It'll be one of the Power 5 games.
The what?
One of the New Year's 6 games, probably.
Who's it sponsored by?
I think it's like the Orange Bowl that they'll play in.
Oh, I know that one.
Isn't it like the Fiesta Bowl or something this year? They rotate the names.
No, so there's
that's the ones that are.
So there's the New Year's 6, right?
Who plays in the Cheez-It Bowl?
So there's the New Year's 6. They have the 6 major bowl games. And then 2 of them, they rotate every year of which one's going to be the playoff games, like the semifinals.
Yeah.
So
what
then
are those
this year? Fuck, I don't know.
I think everyone wants to know who's sponsoring the playoff games.
It's one.
Those are my favorite ones. The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
I think it is the Fiesta Bowl.
Cheez-Its Bowl.
Isn't there also the Cotton Bowl?
There's a lot of bowls, man.
There's a lot
of bowls.
A lot of bowls.
More bowls than a fine china cabinet.
No, it's just interesting because like I've never really paid attention too much to college football, especially with the Giants being in a higher position in terms of their draft pick. Like it's kind of been interesting. Like that's also why like, I have the question of like let's say the Giants lose out, and so do the Bengals. Bengals go first, Giants go second and pick. Like, what are the chances they can still land Chase Young?
Slim.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Chase Young. Giants lose out and Bengals lose out. What are the chances?
Giants are getting Chase Young because the Bengals are taking Joe Burrow.
You're convinced?
Yeah.
Really?
He's from Cincinnati.
Is he?
Yeah. He's from Ohio.
LSU's guy. He's been throwing darts everywhere.
And he was at Ohio State.
Where is Tua going?
Probably the Dolphins. Still.
At 3 or 4?
No.
Does Tua still get drafted that high despite being injured?
So Tua's really considering going back to school.
Legitimately,
because he's like, well, if I go late first round or into the second round, like that's millions of dollars that I can't make up. But if I go back next year, I'm a top 10, top 5 pick and prove to people that I'm healthy.
Right.
Then it's totally different.
That's a big thing right now. That's a tough injury to come back from. On the flip side, though, you could be missing out on a lot of money on the off chance that you do suck when you come back.
Yeah.
I don't think you will, but like,
I think regardless, I think still now he's going like 10 to 15 range at worst.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like if you're not going in this draft and then say you go back next year and you're absolutely terrible.
I think it makes sense if he goes. Like as an Alabama fan, of course I fucking want him back. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But
as a Miami Dolphins fan, you're like, hell yeah, give me
for him, it's the smartest thing if he goes. Let's go, Mark.
Dolphins have multiple picks, do they not, in the first round?
3 first rounders.
So that's what I'm saying.
They're getting him regardless if they want him.
Let's say the Giants do exactly what I don't want them to do, and they beat Miami. They get the head-to-head tiebreaker. They jump them. They go into third.
I think what Miami should do is take Chase Young and then get Tua later. Because trade one of your draft picks. If he's going to go before, you trade one of your draft picks. Because you gotta take the best talent. Period. End of story. What's up?
With 3 overall.
What does Chase Young play? Position-wise?
Defensive end. He's a fucking monster.
Okay. I know literally no one in college that's not named Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
That's it. And actually, is Jake Fromm still in?
The Fiesta Bowl is one of the
playoff things?
Semi-final games.
Is Jake Fromm still in college?
Yeah, he's on Georgia.
I know Jalen Hurts too, so I got 3 guys.
3 guys. Congrats.
Not bad, eh?
You know Jonathan Taylor?
The what?
Jonathan Taylor?
I told you the 3 guys I know.
Like him. Is he the first running back off the board, you think?
No. I think it's DeAndre Swift of Georgia, but he's hurt on Georgia.
Oh.
So what's up?
I know Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a first-round pick?
Chuba? I don't think so. Running backs, like, they're so...
Well, I know.
Time it doesn't.
Do you think he's going to be a legitimate guy in the NFL?
Swift is legitimately, like, incredible. Like, he's really good on Georgia.
Really like Jonathan
if he's hurt, Taylor's really good also. I think he could go late first. I think Swift is definitely going to go in the first.
Chuba Hubbard's Canadian, right?
Yeah. Alberta?
Is he this draft?
Alberta.
Is he this draft?
If he wants to. He's a redshirt sophomore. It probably behooves him to go to the league. Like it's good.
Right. So he won't. Probably won't.
No, he should. He should.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because running backs, their shelf life
last. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you might as well get in there as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I just like his name.
It's a great name, Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yep. Good Canadian kid. And then the other one is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl? Okay. All right.
You guys want to go through some of the names of the bowls?
Yeah. How many bowls we got? Like 40.
There's like 100.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay, let's get.
Makers wanted Bahama Bowl.
I know the what?
Makers wanted Bahama Bowl.
I know the Cheez-It Bowl only because Pat McAfee is calling the game.
The Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
I know the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. I know that there's the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, those are
fun. No, those are fun ones.
Okay, the Celebration
Bowl sponsored by. That's Celebration. The question everyone's asking is, who is the Rose Bowl sponsored by?
Who's the Rose Bowl sponsored by? No one. It's the Rose Bowl.
It's the Rose Bowl.
They're going to be sponsored eventually. Everything gets sponsored.
It might be like
the New Amsterdam Vodka Rose Bowl.
No.
The Pink Whitney Rose Bowl.
It's the Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Media.
There it is. Yeah, I told you. Everything's sponsored.
the Outback Bowl.
Wow.
The AutoZone Liberty Bowl, the Belk Bowl, the Capital One Orange Bowl.
Capital One, love it.
Yeah.
What's does the final have a sponsor?
No, probably it's no, it's the college football national championship game.
Sponsored by the NCAA.
Presented by probably something.
So when's the national championship?
January 13th.
Oh, so that's not until
holy shit! It's December 5th, and we're
December
almost
28th is the semifinals.
Holy! Isn't there 1 week left?
No, so it's this week, and then there's 3 weeks basically off.
Holy! You get a whole semester in. You do finals, do all your exams, relax for a bit.
Yep.
Good for the students, I guess. College football is so confusing. Like, you seem to have a handle on it, but like, man, why?
You know what we should have done? Yeah. So basically, the website I subscribe to, 24/7 Sports.
Okay.
Normally, originally it was like $120 for the year or something ridiculous. And then last year at Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it went down to $74. So then I bought it for the year.
Okay.
And then I canceled it because at the end of the year, because like I was waiting for Cyber Monday, and then this year for Cyber Monday it was $24.95
for the year.
Yeah, so I was like, shit, you guys should have got one to one random school, become a fan of that random school, and then you would have known the whole fucking league.
We could have just figured it all out.
I think next year I'm gonna go full bandwagon on Penn State and go.
Oh yeah.
Go proper in my Penn State following.
Just still pulling for Laval. I really think they have it.
Is that all we had to talk about this week? This might be the record one.
We don't want to talk about the Laval. Who was in the, what is that thing even called? The final Vanier Cup. Thank you. Or the Grey Cup.
I actually know a guy on Laurier.
Who is the Cheez-It Bowl?
I don't know. I just know the Cheez-It Bowl exists, and they're gonna have a 10-yard by 10-yard.
The Cheez-It Bowl is in Chase Field. So the football stadium
Arizona. They're gonna have a 10-yard by 10-yard bucket full of cheese, like liquid cheese.
Hold on. I think I found the best one.
Yeah,
the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Yeah,
let's go.
Tony the Tiger.
Not even great.
I was right there. I think we should end on that. That was fantastic.
So we'll see you guys probably next week to wrap up week 14 in the NFL. Anything else in the NHL and stuff like that, college football. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.